Graduation dinner, June 9.
I want to apologize for not being at your graduation. Number 4 son, who has joined your ranks, is getting married tomorrow. Not tomorrow, but tomorrow, the day you're seeing this. And as you have dinner, I'm trying to keep the rival factions of parents apart at the groom dinner out in Chagrin Falls. So I wish you graduating seniors well.
How was it working with us?
It was very difficult. It was very trying because, see, John Brems got you guys into a lot of bad habits, which I've been unable to break. And so I've just, had to go with what he's given me.
You guys, we have people that have open arthrotomy surgical dyslexia. Their brain tells them what they need to do and their hands don't do it. We have people that are good with open wounds but have arthroscopic dyslexia. I seem to get them, you all at that stage. And maybe other guys saw a different side of you guys than I did.
A fair class. Not great, not good, but a fair class.
Who are the seniors again?
Well, there's you, there's Tom Joseph, Dan Ward, and Aldef.
Okay, yeah, good.
Oh, yeah. I guess they are residents. They really no Joe and
Actually, this is one of the best graduating classes that we've had.
You were a good group of seniors, good talks, good lectures.
Yeah, I think you guys have been great. Probably the best group I've had in nearly a year.
It's unusual to have a year with 4 really outstanding graduates, and I think this year is that. It's really been a privilege for all of us on the faculty to be able to work with you, and the opportunity we feel as faculty members to share our orthopedic knowledge and skills, and more important, our philosophy of medicine with you.
My memory is that each of the chief residents had their own distinct personality, that as attending staff that we had to adapt to each unique personality. And Joe Aladef, I appreciate his organizational skills. Joe, again, is an independent thinker. There are some tricks, and I thought one of my tricks irritated Joe Aladef to the place of the situation was that I personally sort of hid the gentleman's prosthesis who was a bilateral amputee, and although only had a partial incomplete intertrochanteric hip fracture, but wanted to walk on his prosthesis, and we ended up, my goal was to take his leg away from him to make him non-weight bearing. I suggested to him that his prosthesis needed repaired, and we had our prosthetics people in cahoots with us, and they had his prosthesis. That was until Joe felt bad for the individual and felt that it was not fair for us to hide his prosthesis. The ones that I remember the most that stand out is that I always had this concept that Dr. Petty and I at times thought we were going in different directions, that we had different drummers. With Dr. Petty, there was never a moment that I had to wait to find out how he wanted to do things. So I found it a very rewarding situation of me being induced to some behavior modification by Dr. Petty, and I'm trying to do behavior modification, trying to generate interest in doing things other than sports medicine. And it actually was a very good time with Damon.
I was wondering if you could tell us where the orthopedic library is?
I don't know.
You know where the resident library is, the orthopedic library?
I'm not quite sure. I think it might be...
We can't find it.
I've never seen it, actually.
We've got one, don't we?
Do we?
First impression, other than that I thought he probably should have gone into family practice.
Yeah.
Movie star.
Really?
Yeah, movie star. Chiseled features, yeah.
They have the...
Full head of hair.
Yeah, well, we can dream.
That he was a Buckeye through, and always has been, always will be.
He's got the looks. He probably ought to be in soap operas or something.
Tom, I think he was doing push-ups when I first saw him.
He's a good-looking man. Even I like him.
Typically from Youngstown. You know, that's a breed of their own. But he was from Youngstown. Hopefully he's not going to go back there. I think he's better than that.
First impression. I thought to myself, it's a rare individual that's able to transfer into Harvard.
I think of you, my first thought is tennis.
Well, first impression, you really want me to tell you? I think you remember mine with you and being a businessman.
I had a great impression of you. I don't know where that came from.
A financial officer, so to speak.
I think my first meeting with him was, I think he was playing first base at the staff softball game. And I thought that probably he would not have been able to play college ball had he gone anywhere other than Notre Dame.
He's unflappable, you know. Nothing would excite him. Maybe he just didn't care. I don't know.
Tall, big, no room at the operating room. Dan.
Dan, he was a cowboy.
I think of Dan Ward, I think of elk hunting. Dan, you promised to invite me someday.
And the same with Dan. Dan came from the same medical school as Zaire and myself. So we knew he was going to be good.
Talked about the West a lot. Seemed to hate the east side of the Mississippi, but he's not a bad guy.
The Orthopedic Library was stolen from us by the fifth floor, whoever's occupying the fifth floor now, and we want it back. And I understand that there's a lot of money put aside just for that very reason. So we've been waiting anxiously for the reinstitution of the Orthopedic Library.
Joe Aldeff. I thought, now here's a guy that if I had, known years before, I'd probably now be a millionaire.
Joe Aldeff, he's always come across to me as being extremely studious.
Joe, I think that Joe and I just sort of crossed paths.
Aldeff. Who the hell cares about Aldeff?
What about Joe Aldeff? First impression?
I met Joe Aldeff 3 months before his graduation. He wasn't on my service. I'm not sure why, but I think he probably tried to avoid me for 4.5 years of his training. But he joined me at the very last of his exercises here at the Cleveland Clinic. That's my impression.
He's quiet, but it's kind of a still waters run deep kind of thing, you know. I like working with Joe. Always full of surprise, but in a kind of a quiet sort of way. He's a cool dude.
Yeah.
It's just too bad about Mr. Johnson.
Yeah, I wonder how that hip got infected.
I wonder. Or
If he wasn't an orthopedic surgeon, might be lifting weights, running Gold's Gym somewhere.
He'd probably be in the mafia in Youngstown. Maybe one of Jim Trafficant's buddies.
breaking rocks somewhere in the southern U.S.
He'd be in porn. Probably be a porno star. Yeah. I don't know if he's got all the requirements, but he's a damn good-looking man.
I don't know Tom well enough to even make a guess.
But I could see him in a nursery running a daycare center.
I think Tom Joseph would be running a restaurant in Youngstown that's specializing in Lebanese and Italian cuisine.
What about me? What would I be doing?
Well, you'd be what you were before, maybe an investment broker, but you'd be broke because you got a heart and a conscience.
Very kind of you to say that.
He'd be on Wall Street being a financial consultant, I bet.
What would I be doing?
Making money somewhere, man.
Probably either coaching at high school level or in a private club. I think your life would evolve around tennis if orthopedics hadn't pulled you away from it.
Oh, you'd probably be a tennis instructor.
Now, if you weren't in orthopedics,
Yeah.
okay, you'd probably be in prison.
I think we know
Looking
why.
for Tom Joseph.
If you weren't an orthopedic surgeon, I guess you'd probably be in family practice.
We just wondered, Chris, where's the orthopedic library?
This is it. These
This
little
is it
shelves
right
right here.
Well, I thought there was.
Don't we get money for books from GME?
Yeah, isn't there an orthopedic book fund?
Sure, Jim Saphir is in charge of that.
Huh.
Well, there might be some information here that you might find useful.
Just between you
What
and me.
about Aladef?
Haldef, I think he'd be a scientist. Not that he isn't a scientist
You're
now.
talking about Erlenmeyer Flask scientist?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Joe Aldef would be teaching high school biology in New Jersey.
Aladef, I'm not sure. I don't know much about Joe. He hasn't been with me very much. I didn't know him for his whole training program. I don't know what he would be doing.
I view Joe as more of an administrator type business person.
I don't know what else. I mean, Aladef can't do this. I don't know if he can do anything. So, you know, I don't think he'd be competent to do anything else.
Dan Ward would be working for his brother. He'd be a landscape contractor, and he'd be playing slow pitch softball 8 months of the year.
Dan would be probably plowing drives in the middle of the night as a second job. I view Dan, if he did something else, it would be in construction, heavy labor, big machinery type thing.
Dan would be out, again, he would be outdoors. He would be back in the Colorado area, and probably he would be leading backcountry treks or hunting expeditions, something like that.
Dan Ward. Dan Ward would be cutting down timber, building roads and houses out west, probably.
I don't know what Wardo would be doing. Probably raising a family somewhere, farming. Reminds me of Jim Tomey, that big boy.
Yeah.
Supposedly there's funds for book money, and we had some documentation that indicated that maybe Dr. Safara knew where it was, and you've been around the department for a while, and wondering if you've noticed any unusual activity or with Dr. Safara or any other.
Any activity with Dr. Safara is unusual. Don't know anything at this moment in time.
I'll show you the documentation that we've gotten here.
That's true. He requests money from each and every one of us every year.
And do you ever see anything with any of that money?
No, but I hear his house is getting better furnished.
We've recently uncovered some documentation that is implicating Dr. Safara in embezzling the orthopedic book fund money. Do you know anything about this, seeing as you work with him quite a bit?
I think Dr. Safir would embezzle anything that he could.
Any ideas what he might be doing with the money?
He has a condo in Hawaii.
Okay.
And he has a house in Sun Valley for when he goes skiing.
What advice would you give us as we start the next 3 years?
There's one thing about operating under supervision. There's another issue about operating when you know that you're no longer the non-combatant. Some of the comments about patient care and also operative intervention, one of my favorite terms is that of attitudes and insight and comments of the non-combatant. When you become the combatant and it becomes your responsibility, then your approach is in looking for things, what will go wrong, trying to prevent them and so forth, will even be more keen in the issue of prevention of complications.
Well, I think the old adage of being able, being affable, and being available helps you start a practice.
Careless disregard for human life and suffering, you know. So very important in my field.
To keep a real humanistic point of view with medical care, and I think that hopefully we've given you that in our practice here at the clinic, and I know you all will do very well. If you just make the decisions where you've made them in the latter part of your training program, you'll have no regrets.
You have to watch that you don't put on the golden handcuffs, and you can get very much roped in very quickly to large overhead expenses in your office, large mortgages, large car payments, etc., etc., and those can rule your life.
Whenever you get into deep trouble and you don't know how to get out of it, just think of all the times you've been in deep trouble with me. Just think of what I would do.
I think that if you remember one thing, and I really think you will, is that if you do what you feel is best in your heart for your patient, in spite of all the other pressures that you're going to feel, marketing, bottom line, house mortgages, if you do what's best for your patient, you'll never go wrong.
One line, don't be an asshole. If you can help it. If you can help yourself from not being an asshole. Like I said, sometimes it's genetically determined.
Dr. Safara, we wanted to ask you about what your opinion was on recent documentation that we've uncovered that has suggested that you are funneling money from the resident book fund to secret offshore accounts in the Cayman Islands.
I don't think there's any truth to those rumors whatsoever.
Let me show you the documentation we've got here that proves it.
You're supposed to put the thing in and you can't.
I think we're going to need a full inquiry into this. My books are always wide open to the public if you can find them, and I'm more than willing to have anyone investigate this that it's willing to do so.
Do you have any suggestions about who might know where the money is?
I always start at the top.
That would imply that it might be Dr. Iannotti.
I have no further comments. Please, please turn off that camera.
This has been a good group. All four of you guys are fun to work with.
No, we had a good time. Good 5 years. I'm glad you were here.
The most rewarding thing is to see people finish being complete surgeons and realizing that you've been a small part of their education.
I think you're going to have a lot of fun. It's like the Dalai Lama says, learn the rules so that you can break them. And you often have a lot of fun breaking the rules.
It's been a very good 8 years. Well, it just seemed like that.
You guys are all going to do great. You know, you're going to do your fellowships and come out, and you're all going to do terrific. Nothing else to say.
The interaction I've had educationally with the residents, it's sort of like a highlight of my life.